You are about to experience an
What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me? Hey, 5 to 10 football. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you say yay something? Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, if you can kind of type. Can you guys hear me? I'm assuming. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So I'll be basically hosting like kind of today's I'm gonna cover really basic, right? Trend line, support and resistance, and how you kind of use for your technical analysis, right? So that's why I'm gonna post this in my other channel too. I think I can just use that. Okay, Alex. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So you guys can hear me. Uh, let me. Just a second. I will start within a minute or so. I will start within a minute. Just hold on for a second.
You are about to experience an
I always get that for some reason, but so how are you guys doing? How was your trading day? How's everyone doing? I hope everybody is doing great. Let's wait maybe a minute, maybe a few people will join. Then I will basically kind of go. Just a second. I just posted it. Okay, I'm gonna start now. Uh, okay, so I'm kind of out of Discord. It just Discord takes so much. So okay. Let's see how many people are there. Okay, we are there. So okay, cool. Everybody there. So thanks for coming. And today, basically, I just wanted to cover like really basics of technical analysis, right? So I'm gonna kind of cover like why technical analysis, right? A lot of people is like you have these two lines up and down and whatnot. How this gonna work, right? The thing is like technical analysis. in stock trading, right, there's two things. One thing is investing, one thing is trading. Trading, you need to kind of put aside your emotions, right? It needs to be pure based on the technicals. And technicals, what it's really telling you is like really what's happening in the industry. I'm gonna kind of show you example. A lot of times what happened is insider people, right, insider, I'm gonna add volume to here just so that it's cool. I love volume. Okay, volume is there too. So basically chart is telling you story, right? So think about it, like you go to doctors, then he need like your temperature, pressures and whatnot so that he can judge are you all right, right? Basically chart tells you the health of the stocks. Is it healthy, is it doing good, or is it doing bad, right? So and a lot of times what happening is, I mean, you have all the news, right? Like you probably saw the news in 2020 COVID. Everybody's like panicking, and it's like it's the end of the world. Like stocks going to doom down and whatnot. But you probably see a lot of time is it just happens opposite. So those opinions doesn't matter. But if you look at the chart, you just need to all you need to look is look at the chart, follow the trend, don't fight the trend, right? I'm gonna kind of go over those things like slowly and what I mean. And you probably like a lot of you guys remember, right? Like people just saying Tesla gonna go 000, but price was telling something else, right? It was just making higher and breaking out and whatnot, right? So one of the very basic and most important thing is trend line and support and resistance, right? So basically you have different like thousands of indicators, and they're basically all they are trying to do is like kind of trying like where the support and where the resistance is, right? So i'm gonna I'm gonna yeah, let's look in the crowd, right? So this is a crowd strike. So this is a daily, and let's look at the chart. This is just the chart. I'm gonna explain, like I already had those line, I did not do. You can easily see that, right? So this is kind of going up 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 up, right? You can see the price is going up. Yes, of course you have smaller dips here and there, but if you look at the chart, it's really going up. What does it tell? This is an uptrend, right? So basically this stock right now, if you look at the big picture from basically, yeah, I mean it was kind of flat for this period, which is basically you don't want to, probably don't want to trade like this, is kind of worse. You want to trade when the stock is in really strong uptrend, or when the stock is, if you are just kind of in the negative side, which is happening with the baba, I'm gonna go over, uh, basically kind of going down, that is a downtrend, right? So basically don't fight the trend. This is a very kind of strong stocks going uptrend, and baba kind of going down. I'm gonna show that's there right now. What is uptrend, right? So basically uptrend basically means is when the stock is making higher highs, higher lows, right? What is higher highs and higher lows, right? So I'm gonna so higher highs is basically you look into the swing highs. What is swing highs? So anytime you see high, right? So basically this is high, this is high, this is high, this is high. What I mean by higher highs is this high is higher than this high, this high is higher than this high, this high is higher than this high, right? Yes, you of course have smaller blips here and there. You can actually say these are highs too, but if you look at the big one, right, as a whole, you can clearly see it's kind of going up and it's clearly an uptrend. That's called a uptrend, higher highs and lows, right? If you look at the lows, you can see that this is low, this is low, this is low, this is low, right? uh, yeah, that's all. When the stock is making higher lows, higher low means all the low are higher than the previous one. This low, right, this is kind of low. I mean we are looking at particular time frame. This is this low, but this low is kind of higher. And if you look at this one, they're higher than this one, and this is a little bit higher, and I don't know where it's gonna go, but this is basically kind of higher, right? If you kind of regard this as a low right now, we don't know what's gonna happen, right? But so this is this, right? So this is uptrend, this is a clear uptrend. So when you have an uptrend, now we are kind of talking about trend and how do you draw a trend line. It's pretty easy. What you do is you kind of note down the lower lows, right? I mean higher lows, right? All the low points, and all you do is, this is a tool. Pretty much every platform should have some kind of tools. At least TradingView is free. I mean, you can use the free version and get everything, and just draw it, right? Just connect those lines, right? Connect those lines. Look at that, how perfect that is, right? Look at that. Comes down, bounce off, right? Comes down, bounce off, right? Come down, bounce off, right? Comes down, bounce off, right? So basically it's kind of respecting this trend line. And a lot of people ask me, is like, I mean, hey, it's like they're trying to look into, maybe this line should be here. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna be a perfect line, right? There's gonna be, this is a stock. There's always news. There's noise, right? So you cannot have like that perfect, you know, exactly touching here. Because if you look at this one going down, you can draw it like right down too, a little bit down too, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We are looking at this area, not the exact price, right? It's 179, 175. I mean, if you look at the big, this is like, if you look at like one, does it matter if you got long at 175 or even 180? I mean, if it goes to 280, that's 100 points, right? That's 2 to 3%, right? That's small. If you are making like, you know, if you are looking at like 80-90%, that's 1-2%, that's fine. So you should not look into that really smaller things, right? It's just the area. So you can adjust it, but the goal is more point is touches your trend line, that's a better. Cause if you look at that, this is also lower lows, why don't you draw here, right? But if you look at that, this is basically kind of, it's respecting a lot more than this two lines, right? And if I draw here, it's kind of crossing here, so that's not good, right? So we want to, so when a stock is going up, this is an uptrend, you basically draw a trend line right here. So now we gotta see whether it's gonna support this or that, right? Maybe if it can come down here, it may not come, because a lot of time it just kind of bounce off too, it can happen too, right? But if it can comes here, like maybe, I don't know when it comes, maybe it can help kind of play around here and goes here, let's say it goes to 221, that could be a good long positions, right? But you just don't go long position because it touch it. There's other things. Other thing is like, what I usually do is, for example, right, let's say, okay, it respected this trend line, it respected this trend line, it respected this trend line. Now let's say the price is coming here, do I just go long right here? Probably not. What I want to see is, see, stocks moves in a cycle, right? Bull, pull back, bull, pull back, up, pull back, right? Same with the downtrend too. And now, so let's say it's the price is right here. So do you go long? No, you should not just go long just cause it just hit the trend line. There's so many things, right? But in the short term, if you look at that, it's going in a downtrend, right? So if you look at that, this is an uptrend, but if you draw a trend line right here, it's basically a downtrend, right? It's kind of coming down. I'm gonna kind of, so in an uptrend, basically let's kind of cover uptrend. You basically connect all the lower lows and basically draw a line. Once it break down, that means the trend is kind of over, right? It can be short term, it can over and kind of come back to, or it can be really long term and it just goes down, right? So I guess that makes sense, right? So let's see, are you guys getting it? So does it make sense? Put a thumbs up if you are getting, you understand that's what is uptrend, and you can probably draw this now, right? So that's there. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I hope that makes sense. So that is basically stock is going kind of in a strong uptrend, and that's a good thing, right? If you are long. So now, so what is a downtrend, right? So that's how you draw a trend line. That's all. Pretty simple, right? You basically connect the lower lows. Now let's look into like a BABA. Look at that, right? You can clearly see that. I mean, I don't even need to tell, right? Before it was basically uptrend, 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 and it went up to a high of what, like 119, a very strong uptrend, right? Look at that, a strong uptrend if you kind of draw a trend line from right here. And again, a lot of time it's like you don't have to draw till, like, you know, if you say like, yeah, this was an uptrend, now it's here, you don't have to basically make, you're just looking at the price, like let's say you are here, you don't need to go here. I mean, again, if it perfectly aligns, that's great, but if not, basically look into the smaller, like the nearest, you know, nearest 6 month or 12 months or whatever it is, right? So because if you draw this, that's fine, but if you look at the short term, it's gonna be look like this, right? So this is still an uptrend, right? Kind of pull back, bull run, pull back, right? Now once it breaks this uptrend, look at that, it breaks the uptrend, and look at that, what it's making now, lower highs. This high, right, this is lower than the previous high, this is lower than that high, this is lower than high, right? Lower lows and higher lows, right? Highs is low and lows is lower, right, than the other one, right? So it's just clearly in downtrend, right? The same concept. So now you basically drawing trend line from here, right? Look at that, see, big resistance right here, big resistance. You can kind of adjust a little bit here and there. Yeah, right, basically it's rejected. So basically if you are planning to long, it's not a good idea to long unless it breaks this trend, because right now it's clearly in downtrend, right? Clearly in downtrend. So uh, you're just guessing and speculating, right? And look at that, this few days like kind of going really gap up with the good volume. So volume usually is like a good sign if the stock is kind of doing good or bad. So this is that's how you draw the basically for the downtrend, right? As long as it's hold, you can actually play puts, right? And maybe you get out once it breaks, right? You saw this good opportunity because it's kind of rejected this area and it's going down, down, down. Did not, so you can kind of keep holding it, right? So basically it tells you too. And the other thing is like a lot of people is like, I mean, when you buy it, let's say here, you bought a put here, you know you stop. If it goes here, you are just getting out because you thought it's gonna happen, it did not happen, because sometimes it just goes the opposite, it breaks that, right? But if you just go random positions, where you're gonna put a stop right here, then it may come down or it may go up. There's very uncertainty, right? They're just good good indications, and at least you have your stops, right? You have your plan. So that's for the trend line. After this video, you guys should be able to kind of basically draw a trend line for any stock you want, right? So that's pretty straightforward. Now let's look at some other stock, right? Okay. So now, SE, one of my really, I love the stocks and really strong uptrend, right? From the just March lows, like from 38 till like almost 10 bagger, 318 right now. And still they had a really good earnings and with the good volume kind of going up. And I think it's gonna, now let's draw a support and support, right? So trend line also acts as a support, but this is basically horizontal support, right? So this is same area. So now what you do is like you have the higher points, you have the lower points, right? So all you do is basically horizontal line. I just like to use this rectangle just cause it's an area, it's easier. For example, look into this, right? This is basically it acted as a resistance. So if you draw a straight horizontal line, you can see that this area kind of, this area same acted as a resistance, then it kind of went down, right? It broke above that resistance. So sometimes happens, right? Otherwise the stock would be just moving around here. It breaks, right? It could be new, just the buyer kind of getting control. It kind of broke through it but came back, it just failed it, right? It again broke, and look at that, this one acted as a support. So basically previous resistance act as a support. That is very strong, right? So you can actually draw this line and maybe its stock is kind of ranging and you can act as a good support. So this could be a good play, right? So if you got in right around 285, you can maybe stop, right? If it just reject this, maybe it's gonna go down, right? So basically have a stop right around 285 to 275, depending like stock option, your durations, whatever, just below that. That way, if it doesn't work, if it does not act as a good support, you are out. Otherwise, you just made a good gain from 85 to what, like 325, right? Pretty straightforward. But one thing, most important thing is you need to have a plan, you need to have a rule, right? Without a plan, it's just you'll be just guessing. There's not really any value to it. Okay. How do you play the stone? It just those imported. Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah. So I'm gonna kind of cover up those two. So usually what I do is I actually, yeah, I'm gonna actually set, so I think that makes sense, right? For, I think you guys pretty straightforward with support and resistance and trend line. And one of the best things I really like is when support and resistance and trend line really align, they are at the same point. That's like a fireplace. What actually happening in the market is the different kind of trader, right? Some trader do purely like trend line, then they trade based off that. Some trader like just do kind of horizontal support and resistance, they trade off. Some people just do the fib, right? So there are different thoughts of trader. So a lot of when kind of this things aligns, a lot of those things, and you just basically it's a good entry, good. So I'm gonna show you some of the trades, like yeah, one of the trade I took was AMD, right? Okay, so AMD, I think I posted in my okay, that's there, that's fine. Okay, I was kind of making a tight trend line and it's kind of break down, so not looking good. Let's see. Right, so okay, so one of the really good patterns, or whatever, I mean patterns, are the all-time high breakout, I call it, right? So this one, this was really a good trade. So this one, basically what I'm doing is this is a previous all-time kind of acted as twice, right? Previous all-time high, straight line, right? So I was kind of looking, and actually I even tweeted in my Twitter right around when it was like 95 or 96, kind of looking into that area, but I did not got in. So what I did was, when it broke this all-time, I think it was 98 or 99. I mean, if you have like, if you are in Webull or Thinkorswim, what you can do is just even here, right, just put an alert, right, add alert at something, right? So then when it reaches that price, it just texts you or whatever, depending upon the platform, or in your phone, right? Now when I look at that, I enter right here. I usually like when it breaks out of that, right? So I enter right here because it broke out. But I always have my stop, at least mental. Like I may not be doing, because mostly I'm doing options. So with options, the thing is like the price can swing literally like 20% really easy. So even if it goes a little bit down, it may be cut out. So I usually have in mind, what I do is basically don't look at the option price at all, right? So but what I do is I enter right around here. So basically it's a breakout. I'll do like, if it's, I think it was 99, so about 2 to 3% in stock price. I think it was 97. I put my stops, right? So I put my stops. If it goes to 97, I mean, sometimes what happens, it goes down and it goes, it's fine. You're not gonna win all. The thing is like, when you win, you win like 60-70%, right? But if you lose like 10%, 20%, right? That way, if you do that, I mean, you don't need to win. Even if your win rate is like 20, 30, or 40%, you'll be really profitable trader. But you need to stick with the plan. Most people, what they do is like, this got in, stock goes down, it's like, no way, it's gonna come down, and it goes up. Oh, it's too low, I think it's gonna cover up, then it just goes down and it just Okay, I guess I will get like $5, you know, you spend $1,000, so that happens. So yeah, I got in here, really gap up. Once it gaps up or just goes up, you can actually now maybe just put your stop as a break even, right? Now it's up again, just raise your stop. Now you're profitable, right? Maybe it's here now, maybe it's a 105. I did not get this move. I thought like yeah, I sold on the 13 or 14. I thought like it was really overextended, like Bollinger Band was like really over, kind of it was up over from, but volume was good. So I could have got like 2022, but it's like nobody can really pick the good, right? So I got like 80-90%. It was an option. So um, um, so that's done, right? So that's there. So usually what I do is again, this was all-time setup, sometime trend line, right? So what I think was it crowd, what I was showing the first, right. So I don't know if I got in this one, but what I would do is like basically this is a trend line, right? So I'm looking into this area. So usually like you can do different time frame and maybe look at the other things. But if you are trading based off trend line, let's say, right? So it's kind of coming down this area. I'm looking into it, but just cause it touched this one, I'm not gonna usually long. So what I'm gonna do is basically this one, right? You can actually do this is daily, maybe look into 4 hours, right? So what's the smaller time frame tells you, right? So see, actually, cause like in the longer time frame, since the 1 day candle, it's really, but now you can clearly see, right, really strong downtrend, but it's kind of breaking, right? So you can actually even do this is even I would do is like, okay, so it kind of broke this downtrend, but it's kind of in this what do you call horizontal range. So maybe you don't want to trade that range. So maybe you want to, what you want to really do is maybe once it break out of that level, cause see within this small area, um, so that's kind of confirms your bias, right? It may not just hold, otherwise your option basically losing value, and it could go for a few days, right? It can happen. So basically, okay, it broke this horizontal level too. So maybe it, because if you look at that, there's like this is a 4 hour candle. So 1 day is two candles, right? So 1 day, 2 day, 3, 4, 5, 6. So almost a week. It stayed in that area for a week. So a lot of times people don't have patience, right? So what you can do is like you want to really go good move, right? So basically uh, have that kind of top labor, and then that's where I will get in, like, okay, it broke that downtrend, kind of went from the support. So I usually try to find 2-3 points, right? Not just it touched, I'll just go along, because a lot of times it can go down too, right? And other thing is like you don't get biased, right? So sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Just have your stop. So basically if you're entering there, maybe still have your trend line like with 95. So depending which stock or option. So basically have a stop right around like wherever you are, within I would say 3 to 5% of the stock price, then you can go along. So that's how I would do. um, yeah. So other really good trade was Amazon, which was like most of my really good trade was like when it does all-time high breakout, like uh, that was the day when Amazon did like 100 and something. Okay, kind of it has really bad after the earnings, but okay, yeah, I think it was it. Yep. See, look at this, right? So one thing is really strong, really range bound, right? So range bound is again, Amazon is a pretty like move, so still like there's a couple hundred moves, but range bound is basically for options, like for other stuff it's really bad. You want like really massive move, right? So you want to grab something like this move. This moves, right? Not this moves. These are like small, but these are really sudden, like almost 17 to 30, like 100% in the stocks in options, like that's like 1,000, 2,000 or whatnot. But you can see that it's been really range bound, range bound, range bound, range bound, and look at that. I had a straight line right here, and it just broke 35, and I think 35.70, and I had an alert that day. I actually got in really good position there, and I think I made like 20 or 30,000 or something in that trade. But I was just basically adding in. Other things I would tell is don't average down. A lot of, if you're trading, right? I mean, if you're investing, you're believing in long term in Amazon, it really doesn't matter if your story like you can be couple $100 too, but if you believe it's gonna go 5,000, that's like $100 won't really matter much, right? So that's there. But here, see, all-time high breakout, right? So I got in, and always when the breakout happens, look at the volume. And if you look at that day volume, look at that. This is 20-day average, the white line, and volume almost double. And you can check the volumes always and see. And if you see those massive, you want to see the massive breakout with the massive volume. I'm gonna say Asan. Asan was the other one I think I did. Yeah, look at that. This all time, it's the same pattern, right? Like, and usually, see, I already had this one. See, and other things you want to see is like when this make good base, right? Like this is a base for what, February 9 till June, February, March, April, May, June, like almost 5 6 months, really good base. Like it hit there, really need, like basically a lot of people that are buying, institution are adding, and then boom, breakout of this all times. And look at that volume, right? Before it was really tiny, the breakout, it just double or triple from this volume. And look at that, how massive, from 44 to almost 80, like within 2 months. Before it took 6 months to just play around. So as a trader, you want to grab these rapid moves, not those slow moving things, right? So sometimes it's like you may not really get, I'm not seeing a lot of good setup these days. Like sometimes you may not see the good setup, like you don't even need to trade like regularly. You just need to find a couple of good trades, and you want to find these massive ones. So yeah. Any questions, comments? Are you guys kind of getting? Okay, cool. Okay, okay, makes sense so far. Very lots of swings. Yeah, I'm mostly a swing trader. I will do occasionally. Maybe there's some really great news, something's happening. So I will do. Not gonna lie. So I do trade, like sometimes just plan was to kind of swing, and it just uh, I'm up really huge in a day. I'll take profit, right? Taking profit. So in trading, right? So cash is the best position, right? When you have a cash, you cannot really lose, right? But if you are in a trade, there's always chance it's kind of go bad. Um, and if it goes really bad, I mean, it can go from like winning to losing to, and probably you have seen a lot of your trade have been kind of gone from a winner to a loser, right? You don't want to be that guy. I was kind of reading somewhere, it kind of stuck in my kind of mind, and I even commented in chat uh, in the Discord, like in trading, right? There's 5 outcomes, right? Small win, right? That's a good thing. Small win, big win, that's a great thing, right? Break even, that's good too. You didn't lose money, so it's good. At least you are like, if you started 10K, you are at 10K. That's a good thing. That's you cannot say that's a bad thing. It's a good thing. And small loss, okay, you're 10,000, you lost $100. That's fine. You're 9,900. It's not bad. And there's another is big loss, right? So all you need to do is just remove that fifth one, right? That's all. So you have a 5 option. All you need to work is and remove that fifth one. Then you should be, and you will be a really good trader. Yeah. So that's all you need to do. So basically, how do you do that, right? All you need to do is you need to have a stop. You need to have a stop. If you are a trader, if you don't have a plan, I mean, you lose it, right? If you have a stop, and basically stick with the stop. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes what happens, let's say, right? Let's say you bought in, like you bought in and it goes up, then tomorrow, boom, it goes down, and you got stopped out. Then maybe few days after it goes up. That's fine. You don't have to win all, and you nobody gonna win all, right? If you look at the best of the best trader, they win like 50-60%. All you need to have a good risk reward. So if you are making like, if you are losing $1 and making $2, I mean, I think you'll make like 40-50% in a year. That's a great returns. So yeah, that's all. It's a numbers game. Right. What else going on? So okay. Okay, I'm gonna look into the Wish. Wish doesn't look good, man. I mean, their earnings was really bad. I kind of go look into earnings too. I like growth stock, but right. So, I mean, I don't even need to chart, right? If you look at the big picture, right? Again, the thing is like, so look at the big picture, right? It's clearly like it's not making higher highs, right? It's look at that. It's just clearly making lower lows and whatnot, right? And a lot of people is like maybe it's just making a cup like structures, maybe I will, yeah, maybe it will, but the thing is like you cannot really tell bottom, and sometimes it just goes down, down, down. Think about it, right? Maybe you would say how low it can go, but it's at like 750. I mean, it goes to 350. That's you lost like almost 100%, right? So 50%. So yeah, it can go 100% down there, like, and then again it can go down. So it could. So basically, I would not really trade this stock. There's nothing like it just going downhill. So basically, it's not my style. I would not. Sometimes, yeah, I see a lot of news and good volume coming in. I may kind of scalp or just do the day trade. That's fine. Within the day trade too, you can use the same concept, right? So basically, day trading, right? So what you are doing is just looking into the small 5 minute chart, right? So if you look at the 5 minutes chart, it's the same thing. I mean, you gotta look into it, right? So maybe this one today, if you look at like, it's kind of making higher highs, right? Like lower high high, then it kind of calm down. But you can see it's the same concept, right? As I told you, higher time frame doesn't matter, right? But always have a perspective. What's the overall pictures, right? And this one doesn't really look good. Uh, I mean, it's just, and a lot of times what happened is a lot of people, let's say, I mean, okay, you really believe in this, right? So what could happen is, think about it, it can just stay in this range for 3 months. Think about it. If you have 10,000, you put all your money in this one, you lost that opportunity cost. You could have found other better play, put that 10,000, turn into 15, right? So let's say, uh, in 3 months it's just staying here. Maybe it will go like slowly, but you lost. You want that rapid move. You don't want these slow laggards, right? You want the winners. So yeah, that's what Wish looks like. And AMC, again, AMC is not really a fundamental. I mean, it's just the kind of Reddit driving. Uh, so okay. So AMC was like, look at this. AMC was really good at this point, right? Like when it kind of broke, like I think we had the previous mini rally, like mini pump. Wow. So it went from 5 to 20. Oh wow. It opened from 5 to 20. Oh wow. Yeah, then massive pullback. But look at this. That was all-time high. Then it just kind of, accumulation or whatever. Reddit was kind of getting attacked. And look at that. This all-time breakout. Man, that's a good move. I think I traded this day. Just the day trade. I would do those kind of day trades sometimes, because others I will do kind of long term, like mostly Asan. Those kind of company are growing company. I know that this is basically just the Reddit, but sometimes I mean, like everybody, I will capitalize on the moment. I did same with the hood, Robinhood, but this would be a really good. I think I day traded. I didn't really kept it. I could have kept it, but yeah, I mean, it would have gone down too, right? So nobody knew, uh, but right now, if I look at chart, I mean, it's basically kind of from here top. It's kind of clearly in downtrend, but seems like it's kind of stabilizing though, right? So yeah, if you just kind of, yeah, So basically, if you look at, yeah, look at this. See, that's a strong downtrend and looks like it's kind of breaking out. I mean, breaking out. So this could be like 34 could be good, So whenever you have a strong trend like uptrend or downtrend, right, and within that you will have smaller uptrend or downtrend, right? Even if it's a kind of downtrend, you have a smaller like kind of uptrend, and if you want to look into it, you can actually go to from daily to maybe hourly or 4 hours and kind of see what's happening, right? Same concept, right? So you can even look into like a what we call like our weekly or monthly, and I do weekly sometimes, kind of look into the where the things are and even draw the support and resistance for those weekly and give those more weight. Actually, a lot of people, not everybody is day trading, and that helps a lot too. Okay, let me see. Cool. Thanks, guys. uh Yeah, what would be the only one or two setup that the beginner should stick to? Okay, DN and Fin. So the I would suggest, like, for the beginners, first you need to basically learn support, resistance, and how. I mean, it's just you can always backtest, right? You don't need to really play with the money, but always one thing is always have your stops, right? If you don't have a stop, most people, I think most of the people, they get emotionally attached, like, oh no way, it cannot go down or something, right? So look for the stocks who are making 52-week high. I mean, you can just see Apple made like 145 level, broke out, right? uh, yeah, see, look at that. I mean, it's kind of failed, but if you look at that 150, it broke out that 152, kind of broke out but didn't last it long because of today Fed meeting. But if you look at this previous one, right, previous high, see 144, look at that. It kind of struggled here a little bit, but boom, it just kind of went really good. So you can just look into the all-time high breakout. I'll just start with the good one. And yeah, learn trend line. Look at the trend line. Like this was like, I didn't even draw right now, I don't know when I drew, but look at that, how it's holding it, like coming up, boom, 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 boom. This stuff works. It just you just need to kind of, you know uh, just remove your emotions, right? Even if you kind of got long, that's a good move, but you could have just always done like the short term kind of, okay, it's breaking out, then went long. So yeah, just trust the process and look into the thing is like different stock acts differently. So just try, I mean, different moving average, there's, if you look at the market, there's thousands of indicators, and some people are just switching one to others and others and others and others. The thing is like, the best traders, they don't even use indicator, they just look at the chart and they just know it, right? You can clearly see, okay, this is an uptrend, okay, you can even, I don't even need to draw, you can clearly see it, right? They kind of align, right? So that's there. But I mean, nothing wrong with using indicators, but whatever you're using, stick with that, right? Try to master that, right? I mean, see what works. I mean, you can always, this is free information, you can always go back to maybe, 5 year, 10 years, 1 year, whenever you want, and see what works. And whenever you do a trade, right, so always look into the trade, like especially with the bad trades, what did you do wrong with that trade, learn from that, right? A lot of people, what they do is like, okay, you bought it, oh, you lost it, shit, I lost it, tomorrow you just buy other randomly, right? That's not gonna work. Have something, right? Okay, why it did not work, right? I mean, you may lose a small amount, that's fine, I mean, you lose it, but if you lose kind of big, what went wrong? Maybe that was not good setup, right? Maybe look at the other traders, other chart. So basically try to improve yourself, right? I mean, I go to YouTube, I watch a lot of videos, I read books, I read books every week, like about trading and whatnot. There's so much things the others perspective. But yeah, at the end of the day, have your own plan. Just don't, oh, this guy posted this, I'll just go long. It's good. Sometimes the thing is like there's 10,000 of stocks, right? And I cannot really look into the other stocks. So sometimes I see somebody else chart. Then what I do is I'll pull it out and see, does his thought and my thoughts align? If they both align, that's even better, right? So yeah. What else? What else? What else? If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we are here for almost 45 minutes, and nice seeing you all. Thank you guys for coming. If you have not liked and subscribed, don't forget to like and subscribe in YouTube and Twitter too. Uh, yeah. Uh, but I have other videos too, other like stock options and whatnot. And also, what you can do is, if you have any like any you if you want me to cover anything, any topic, let me know, comment in this video, and I'll make sure I will make a video, or I'll just come live, talk to you with you guys. And maybe one of the days I've been kind of slow, but I will probably start doing like, kind of going over charts and whatnot, so that would be good. But yeah. Yeah, so basically, okay, DN and Fin, right? There's so many things. Yeah, SMA crossover, whiz, break, and cup and handle. Yeah, I like cup and handle. So cup and handle is pretty good too. So many. So yeah, I would suggest first understand and just look into support, resistance, trend line. And once you really do good, maybe look into cup and handle. See different stocks. Read books and see if you can find it. uh, just that's all. Do that, right? That would be really good. Do that. Once you do masters and do really good, you can move on to something else. PayPal. So I guess somebody wants PayPal chart. I mean, still, if you look at the long term, still uptrend, good uptrend. I mean, it's kind of about to maybe touch it, see if it breaks out. That would be good. But look at there's overhead resistance is right here. Look at that, how perfectly this work, right? Look at this. See, those are the area, right? So this could be really good if it break out. There's really good chances, but again, it's kind of double top too, right? It can kind of, it can reject it too. Rejects like just the buyer kind of want the control, and you can see the volume, right? Massive volume come in. I guess it was just kind of coincidence or something, kind of bad luck right around earning. Really bull run, but it just kind of failed now coming down. So let's see if it kind of hold. Also, this is kind of making the kind of triangle, ascending triangle pattern. Let's see if it bounces back, but it could be a good trade actually. And you can see, right? So now let's see if it's gonna come. And now what you can do is maybe go to 4 hours and see what's really happening. Okay, so in this is basically kind of short terms. Even go hourly, 1 hour. Okay, okay. Yeah, so if you look at the hourly, kind of now you can see, before you could not really see, so you can actually see, right? So basically not only it touches it, but you want to hold. Okay, it's kind of breaking that short term downtrend too. It's kind of going up too, right? So you don't want a lot of time. It just, what happened, it touches here, but you see it's right here, and it can even go down too, right? It's in the short term. In long term it's in uptrend, but if you look at the short term and hourly, it's in downtrend, right? So basically you want to make sure it's breaking out that short term downtrend as well. Make sense? Okay, exactly. So yeah, the thing is like it will never work. You have to. The thing is like, I'll tell something, then I mean, I may go out or some things, or different people have different plan. They have so many other portfolio. Maybe they are long something. They have some health, so you won't really know, right? And yeah, so you need to basically learn yourself. I mean, if it was just easy, somebody tweeting these things and just, I mean, you'll see the Twitter people are like, oh, this is the best, and that's good, and blah blah blah. But it will work until it stops working. So yeah. Anything else, guys? I hope it makes sense. Yeah, next time I'll probably like. I think today I was having some issue with my YouTube, so but yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, retweet in your socials, and if you need anything, if you want me to cover, so I have a lot of videos already on um, stocks, option, and how do you choose an option and things like that already in YouTube. And if I go search in my page, and if I'm missing anything, just comment, or if you want to learn or something, I will slowly, what my plan is to basically, okay, today we cover support resistance and something, and next week maybe we'll cover some other thing. You have a EMA and whatnot, right? So maybe we'll cover fibs one day, right? How do you use the risk reward tools, and oh, I'll just sell and move on. Martin, I'll just sell and move on. Sometimes I do hold back, but for long term, so what I do is, so I have different accounts, right? So I have some long term account. Those account I won't even trade, like those are basically stocks. I don't want to kind of keep flushing that small movement. If I believe, I just believe, right? I'm riding their Square literally from like 70 or 80 bucks. So Square is moving, right? I could do that, but I don't want to take that headache. I'll just leave it, right? I believe in Square, so it's fine, right? So I have a crowd, right? So crowd, like it goes, maybe I could do, but I don't want to spend a lot of time. So that's their long terms. Like I have a growth stock, so I'll just basically buy and not worry much. But for trading, I always like, okay, if it doesn't work, I will just get out. Yeah. Sometimes I mean, sometimes I do have like, oh shit, maybe it will come back. I do sometimes, but yeah. Sure, I will actually do. There's a lot of, right, a lot of times you will actually if you match TA with the flow, that goes next level, and I will definitely do that in the other future videos. I think I made a little bit, you can check it in YouTube, but I will definitely cover that. Yeah, thank you guys, thanks for coming. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the love. But other than that, have a great day, I mean night, and I will see you. I will probably go kind of one day a week at least. So I will go live maybe next week, or maybe before too, but let you know, guys. Thank you, thanks for joining.